today. From TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's the AFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. As we'll see Lamar Jackson and the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Aaron Rodgers and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Rodrigo Blankenship set to kick off.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
Here's Zach Moss, who played high school football downstate near Miami. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going with Moss on the ground. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd manageable with that run.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Now here's Ross. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And playoff games in and of themselves, we know they're pressure-filled. That's not breaking any news, but you have to wonder how much added pressure this team feels, given that a perfect season is on the line. They heard it during the regular season. Now they've sat at home for 2 weeks hearing about it. Can they handle that as well as the team that they're facing in order to try and advance?
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll try and run it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Jaguar. First and 10.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Flush to his right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 6 yards away. And the Jags have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big. And get
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Brian Burns. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers is going to flip one out here to his running back. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
13, but it brings up third down.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Ross on the return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's
guy,
going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Flushed out right. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Still 3rd down.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw again is Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked.
Intercepted by the Raiders.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again, Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Balazs. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. They go play action now. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
The pass.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. He's letting this one go for, he's got it at the 15. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. On first down, Thompson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 17 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. It's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
Rodrigo Blankenship set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
With the score, Jaguars 14, Raiders nothing.
Rodgers now on first down. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
The tackle.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
10-10 at their own 3-yard line.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. A big reason why they've been so successful. This defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's what is really difficult, because defensively you can have a game plan and trying to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 6.
Jackson from the shotgun. Man open left side is Brown. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20.
Jaguars.
You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone? But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off near the 26. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
2nd and 3 at the Jaguars' 34-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Rodgers. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They'll run a draw now with Moss. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Moss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Yards to go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
First and 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On second down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
He's brought down at the...
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll buy some time right. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Throwing again, Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Jackson being chased out left. He finds his target, Fuller. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Will Fuller as time expires in the first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
For the extra point.
You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a 3rd in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC Divisional Round game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
So conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking it.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Pass intercepted by the Raiders.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st down, Moss. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
To the 47-yard line.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Eddie Goldman able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Javon Hargrave Forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Flush to his right. Got an open man. It's Ruggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. That one goes for 24 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll fire one downfield, and this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I did. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
Rodrigo Blankenship set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Here's Moss with a catch out of the backfield. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This is taken at the 23. 44-yard punt, return of 9.
1st and 10. At their own.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
1 yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Henry Ruggs, 66 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware.
Rodrigo Blankenship set.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
25-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
From the 27, Rodgers. And that's complete to Zach Moss out of the backfield.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
They'll run with Moss.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
They'll run here with Moss.
DeMarcus Walker there on the stop.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 44, Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson.
It's a gain of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
It's a gain of 7.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Raiders on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
They'll set up the screen to Balazs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long.
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Ebron with it over the middle. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. Stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Eric Ebron.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line.
And again, it's Rodgers. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Rodgers to throw once more. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the 1st down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the 1st down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
The ball carrier.
A gain of 3, second down.
Williams on the tackle. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 18-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Out to the right to Humphries. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Third down.
Operating from the gun, Rodgers. He finds Humphries. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
26 Mike, 26 Mike. Pretty quiet, team, pretty quiet. 26 Mike, 26 Mike.
From the gun, Rodgers. This will be caught just inside the 10. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
9-yard line.
26 Mike. I'm here all day. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. Watch the slant. Flip it down.
Rodgers again now. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass, brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter. You're going.
Raiders 3.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Returning it, John Ross. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And it would appear that that 1st-round bye certainly helped. They've looked... Fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And the Raiders have got him. Javon Hargrave able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete.
Rodgers pass.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
At the 43-yard line.
From the gun, Rodgers. Short little throw to Ebron. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And to Las Vegas.
And he's going to have the hook up to QT.
Rodgers.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Complete to Kiki.
They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Rodgers looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they take a knee.
Today's final score.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.